Hi guys, it's that time of the week. We're doing the Friday afternoon 5 at 5 and we're doing it for a second time round because the first time I did this, it had no sound for the first, 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever it was. So I thought I'd just delete it and start again because I think most of it was missed. So let me know if there's a sound issue this time round. I probably won't have a crack at it for a third time in the same day. But yeah, look, I just wanted to say it's been a great and exciting time of the year. It's exciting to be buying in the markets that we're buying in at the moment. It's a great time to be buying. Tony and I just actually settled a property ourselves about a month ago. So yeah, it's fantastic. I spent the first 3 days of this week in Victoria looking at some properties and catching up with plenty of people, agents, some clients, some other people down there as well. So it's been yeah, pretty exciting, and we've been doing deals both in Queensland and Victoria. Big shout out to the team. So Jared, Craig, Iana, thanks for all your help this week. The property management girls, Tony, Cass, Ashley's on maternity leave, Chelsea as well. So, and we've got a new team member joining next week, Johan. So very excited to have him coming on board as well. So yeah, let's kick it off with the Friday afternoon 5 at 5. So coming in at number 5 is off-market deal in Queensland, 1,000 square metres or just over 1,000 square metres. Can pick up for early sort of 800,000 sort of price range. Now, why we like this one is you can add it secondary dwelling on the back of it. So whether that's a granny flat and may potentially have enough side access with that one, and potential to do a subdivision on that one, so to actually get a different block out of that one. So really like that one. Rent on that would be around 600 per week, but that potential to add that second dwelling there and to get that rent up as well. And number 4 on the Friday afternoon 5 at 5 is actually a Victorian property. So we went through this one. It's off-market deal. Just let me know if you can hear me as well, because like I said, the first time I did this, there was no sound. So this is actually the second time I'm doing this today. So number 4, put a comment down there if you can hear me or can't hear me. Like I said, people couldn't hear me before. So coming in at number 4 on the Friday afternoon 5 at 5 is a off-market deal in Victoria. It's a super neat and tidy property. We can pick it up for around sort of 580 to sort of 600 sort of price range. It's currently rented. I think it's getting about 450 a week, or maybe a little bit more, maybe 480. But it's 4 bedroom, 1 bathroom. And what I really love about this property is that it's such an easy conversion into a 4 and 2. So, and that's obviously going to add value to the property and boost the value of it. You can keep the original bathroom, just cut in the doorway. There's 2 toilets there already. The laundry's super huge, so you can just steal a little bit of that, make that the main bathroom, and the existing bathroom becomes the ensuite. So it's very, very easy to do something like that at that particular property. Like I said, really neat, nothing to do. Like you could just rent, continue keeping it rented out as is. The tenants are really fantastic. They keep the place immaculate. I actually thought they were owner occupiers. It was really super neat. And it is a corner block, but there's not really anything you can do in terms of adding anything to that one. And it's got a big shed on it and stuff like that, but you can't really add a granny flat or subdivide or anything like that either. So that was pretty cool, that one. So number 3 on the Friday afternoon 5 at 5 is actually a property that was a renovator. So the lady's gone to a home. It's an old A.V. Jennings sort of home built in like the 90s, I'd say, or 80s maybe. Brick and tile. It's needs carpet, paint. Needs a new shower for sure. You could keep the toilet and the vanity, even though it'd be quite dated. So you I would just do the whole bathroom. The kitchen looks quite dated as well, so you need a new door on one of the kitchen cabinets. And again, you could keep that. Joel, thanks for jumping on, mate. So that's it needs a new door, but you'd probably just strip it out if you're doing the whole lot as well. It needs a new hot water system too. So a really great one to add value to. We can pick that up for around sort of mid-5s to high-5s on that one. And that's a really fantastic suburb, that one. It's a lot of owner occupiers. It's nice homes around there, and you can really tell that there's a lot of owner occupiers and people that care about the homes. One of the telltale signs is when you see people trimming up their hedges. You got lawns and gardens looking really nice and neat. You just get a really good sense of what that owner occupier ratio. When you're in places where you see the grass is long and bushes are overgrown and stuff like that, well, it's more likely to be more tenants perhaps. And then you go back and check all the data and the owner occupier ratio and all of that sort of stuff too. Just let me know if you can hear me, because like I said in other videos or earlier on, this is the second time I've done this today, because the first time there was no sound. So let me know, put a comment there, just say I can hear you or something like that. That'd be great. I can see a couple of people jumping on as well. I just can't see everybody's name. So yeah, anyway, coming in at number 2 on the Friday afternoon 5 at 5. I'm gonna put 2 deals in this because they're both similar but in different states. So we've got one that we picked up and we're just waiting for the contract to be signed. Thanks, Joel. Appreciate that, mate. Like I said, it's actually the second time I've gone through all this. Yeah, so we're just waiting for the contract to be signed. A Queensland deal, corner block, ideal to add a secondary dwelling on there. So potentially subdivide, but at least just add a granny flat on that one. Picking it up for around that sort of 690 mark, which is great buying in this market. Rent on it would be around, I can't remember off the top of my head, but market rent would be around sort of 5 to 550 on that anyway. But really awesome block. The house is positioned right to one side, plenty of room to build on the other side there. So that's awesome. So the client's pretty excited, and we're just waiting for the contracts to exchange on that one. Similar property that we're working on with a client at the moment in Victoria, picking it up for, or hope to pick it up for around that sort of mid to high 400s, that one. It's off market. So a lot of these deals, actually I think all of them so far have been off market. But this one is a corner block as well. House is right to the side again. The other side you've got a really big yard and a double shed. So if you remove that double shed, or potentially you could keep it, but you can add a granny flat on that one as well. Picking up for mid 4s to 500. Tenant's been there for ages. I went through that one on Tuesday. I think they're paying $390 per week, but a lady, Ivan, thanks for jumping on, mate. Long time no see. An older lady that's been there. The public trustee is actually paying her rent, and she pays it, well, it comes in like clockwork. The house has been looked after. Got good bones, that one, but a little bit older sort of condition in terms of, might need a little bit of TLC, like a coat of paint on one of the walls outside. The rest of the paint's pretty good actually. A few little downpipes and stuff like that fixed up. So Ian, thanks for jumping on too. So that brings us up to number one on the Friday afternoon 5 at 5. So good time to join, Saeed. This one is actually a side-by-side deal. So 2 separate houses, 2 separate titles, side by side. And why we're so keen on this one, and why it's important, that they are side by side, is that they're actually zoned to add extra dwellings on it. So the one beside those 2 actually has 2 dwellings added on at the back. So we've got the front house, which has been kept, and they've added 2 more at the back. And you can do that on each of these ones as well. So you've got the 2 houses there, and you could potentially add, obviously, of course, subject to council approval as always, you could potentially add another 4 dwellings in total. So bringing it up to having 6 dwellings on these 2 properties. The houses themselves, they're a little bit older sort of condition, need a little bit of TLC like paint, cosmetic, kitchen and bathrooms are quite original. So a bit of TLC, and you might want to do that if you did the development at the back, just to bring up the whole, all 3 of the properties anyway. and those we can pick up for around that sort of $450 to $475 each. The rents are, I can't remember what the rents are on each of those, but I think they're about maybe about $380, $390 per week. I'd have to double check on those ones. One guy's been there, just a single guy by himself. He's been there, I think, for a couple of years. I think he might have said 6 years. But look, that's a really great deal, and at that price, it's just a no-brainer. So lots of really good stuff happening in Queensland and Victoria. I think those markets are really fantastic markets to be buying in at the moment. We've pulled out of other markets, sort of focusing a lot on those, and a few other places as well. But you know, those two areas are no-brainers for me anyway. But look, hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. If you've got any questions, feel free to message us or put them in the comments or anything like that. Always happy to chat and to talk to you guys, and we'll catch you on the next video. See ya. Bye.